I'm currently in medical school and live across the country from my brother and my family. I was surprised when his fiance asked me to be a bridesmaid because I barely know her, but she wants to have all siblings in the wedding. I made it clear that their wedding was during my final exam week, and while I was able to get an accommodation to take my last 2 exams early, I still wouldn't be able to help much with planning or be present at things like a bachelorette party and bridal shower. She said this was fine, it would mostly just be to have an even number of bridesmaids to groomsmen and for pictures. There's a group chat that was created months ago that I would read through every couple of days to get updates on things I needed to do, namely to order a bridesmaid dress. Links were sent with 3 styles to choose from, and we would be updated on colors later. So a couple of weeks go by, and I ask what color to order. Bride says she's still thinking about it. Couple more weeks go by, and she's still thinking, then a couple more weeks. You get the idea. Now it's at the point that if I don't order this dress in a couple of days, it won't be here in time. So I ask on Saturday what color. No response in the group chat to me. I asked again yesterday, Sunday, what color do I need to order? Then I'm flooded with messages lambasting me for not ordering a dress yet, from her sisters and my sister and her. My sister called me, told me to get my crap together and order a dress already, because my lack of preparedness is causing the bride intense anxiety, because she doesn't think my dress will be here on time for the wedding now. She texted me this morning, don't forget order your dress, love you with smiling and kissing images. Still, no one has told me what color. I've scoured the group chat for a mention of dress colors or an image of a dress, but only the maid of honor sent a photo of her dress, and I don't know if she has a special color. There are thousands of messages, so it's not simple to find anything. Everyone else can meet in person, so I assume the decision on color was relayed in person. I can't tell if I'm being purposefully excluded. About an hour ago, my brother called me pleading with me to work things out with the bride because she's panicking about me. I tried to explain this to him, and he told me he doesn't care. It's a petty ladies issue, and since I'm not there for anything else, this is the least I can do, because the bride thinks I don't like her, because I wouldn't come to anything. He's taking her side. They know I'm in medical school, I have literally no say in my schedule. And I'm on the other side of the country, 5.5 hours by plane. I'm fed up with them and contemplating telling my instructors the wedding was moved and I will take my exams at the regular time. I'd have more time to study that way anyway. I haven't told anyone in my family I'm considering this. Would I be the idiot? Not the idiot. Sounds like she doesn't really want you and is possibly a bridezilla. If you have asked numerous times and he called but didn't tell her to call and tell you the color of the dress, text, email, etc. It really seems bizarre that no one can or will tell you the color of the dress. I would ask in the group chat. If you don't get a response with the actual answer after 24 hours, politely bow out of the ceremony and tell them you can't wait to see them at the wedding. Or post a picture of a white bridesmaid dress and tell them that is the color you will buy, unless someone tells you what color dress you should get. Not the idiot. I would absolutely have sent a short text to any and all who decided it appropriate to ignore me for not knowing the dress color, since no one has seen fit to actually tell me the color of the dress despite me asking repeatedly with no response over the past several months. I will no longer be participating in the wedding. Good luck to you all. I hope it's a lovely day. I will be taking my exams as scheduled previously. They literally have no consideration for where you are or what you're doing. Although you have attempted to participate at the level you made them aware of from the very beginning, they've essentially shut you down. Ignore them as they ignored you. Not the idiot. Color is one of the very first things you choose in a wedding. Without it, you can't order decorations, table linens, flowers, or any of the other myriad little things that weddings have. The bride knows the color. She's known for a while. She just won't tell you because she doesn't really want you there, and she wants a way to make you back out without her being the bad guy. This was orchestrated. I would send a group text to everyone, mother, brother, sister, future sister-in-law, explaining that no one is communicating with you, and therefore you are done. You deserve better. Best of luck with your exams. I used to have very long hair. Like, past my hips. I think the total length was 2.5 feet. Everyone around me absolutely adored it, and I used to get so many compliments. About a week ago, I decided I was completely sick of it. I went to the salon, got it cut short, and donated that chunk. Then I went home, and the next day, I just shaved it. I don't know why, I just felt like shaving it off, even though my plan was to just have short hair. It was completely bald, no hair at all on my head, and I absolutely adored it. Besides the fact that my head was so cold all day, my head felt lighter, and I felt so much freer, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I went to the supermarket, where I saw my friend's girlfriend. I waved to her, as soon as I noticed her, excited to catch up, since it had been forever, more than 4 months, since we last talked. As soon as she saw me, her face dropped. She quickly ran over, hugged me, and started apologizing and talking about how brave I was and how she was going to pray for me. I was just standing there, very confused. After a moment, I asked what she was talking about, and she said that I was so brave for facing cancer. I don't have cancer. I've never had cancer, and I was bewildered on why she thought I did. I wondered if my friend had said anything strange, and then realized that my bald head probably made her think I was going through chemo. I explained that I didn't have cancer, and I had just shaved my head because I felt like it. She accused me of cancer fishing and said that I was trying to make people pity me. I told her that I was absolutely not trying to do that, and she stormed away in a huff. I was kind of shocked, but I was hoping she got it and we could move past the little misunderstanding. I woke up to hundreds of angry texts from our friend group talking about how gross what I did was. My friend, the one dating the supermarket girl, was defending my right to literally cut my hair, and he and his girlfriend got in a huge argument and ended breaking up. His girlfriend and her friends and a couple of my friends are blaming me for this breakup and also cancer fishing. Am I the idiot for accidentally making people think I have cancer and causing my friend and his girlfriend to break up? You are absolutely not the idiot. It sounds like this woman was super embarrassed and went on the offensive. Personally, I hate when people shave their heads in support of cancer patients, but you did it because you wanted a shaved head. You aren't faking cancer. By the way, my mom died from cancer. She lost her hair from chemo. It's not difficult to tell which strangers in public are bald due to chemo. I would never assume a bald person was automatically sick unless they also looked like they had been through treatment, if that makes sense. A healthy person bald for fashion doesn't look at all like that. People who are supporting friends going through chemo by shaving their head. People have shaved their head because their hair was itchy. People have shaved their head because they realized their bone structure was so fire that their hair was actually making them less cute. People have shaved heads for a million reasons, and for someone to insinuate that you did it to cancer fish makes me sick. Also, you didn't break them up. She did. With her childish, unwarranted, unwilling to admit when she was wrong behavior. I'm sure you look lovely. I'm glad you are enjoying the freedom you have from your hair. Not the idiot. Cancer fishing isn't a thing. Lots of completely healthy people shave their heads. It's not your fault this person made an incorrect assumption. You never claimed or implied that you had cancer and immediately corrected Little Miss Drama, so there is no way you are fishing for anything, certainly not cancer sympathy. Respond to this insanity with "I have in no way indicated my hairstyle is related to a medical condition." You do not need to have cancer or a mental breakdown to shave your head. If I was a man, no one would react this way. I will not tolerate anyone telling me what I am permitted to do with my body. Enjoy this new to you experience. I, 27, have lived in the same apartment for coming on to 2.5 years now. Until recently, I lived with a friend of mine for most of that time. He moved in a month after me. Because I was the first to move in, and at that time my friend wasn't sure about moving, I took the significantly better room. It has its own bathroom, It's bigger in size by quite a bit, has a really nice view, and also has a walk-in wardrobe. My friend has moved as he got a job in a different city, so I started looking for a new roommate. Eventually, a couple were very interested. They came to the apartment to view it, and they decided they wanted to move in. The landlord left the paperwork for them in the apartment for them to sign, and when they came over to sign it, they saw my room as I'd accidentally left the door open. They immediately started talking to each other quietly before coming back into the room. They told me that if they are to move in, they'd prefer the bigger room as they are a couple who would be living together. I told them that it wasn't an option, that this has been my home for nearly 2.5 years, and that the room has been mine for that time. They really wouldn't let the issue go, and eventually said that they might reconsider moving in. That last remark made me feel as though they were saying that they get the better room, or they don't move in, and so, thinking that they may be bluffing, I told them that they are more than welcome to try to find an apartment in as nice an area for the same price. A friend of theirs who I know had informed them about the other room being available, and she thinks I should give up my room to make them more comfortable. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. I'm not gonna say rooming with a couple as a single person is always a bad idea, but there are extra things to be on the lookout for. They're looking to live together, and the single roommate is just a tack on to make things cheaper and more convenient for them. Obviously, since they're a couple, you should defer to them and give them the bigger room. They need you to vacate the kitchen and the living room so they can have couple time. Since they're a couple, their preferences for expenses, furniture, house rules should take preference. 2 against 1, after all. And finally, as a couple, they need their space to advance their relationship, so you will need to move out. I'd say keep looking. Not the idiot. They came to see the room that was being marketed, simple as that. Your room is leased. Honestly, seems like finding another single may be the move. That being said, remember just because 2 people are taking a room doesn't mean they simply split what the rent would be and move along. There will now be 3 people in the common areas as well, and your rent should reflect that and also bills. They simply want your room only because they want to do couple things, and it could potentially turn into them kicking you out. I would not want these people as my roommates. Never. Not the idiot. I'm tired of this culture of always make the other person or people happy, or else you're a bad person. It was okay for them to ask, and well within your right to refuse. However, after you did so, they should have dropped it. They are attempting to strong-arm you by threatening to back out. Well, I think they did you a favor. It's crazy because they already agreed after seeing the room they were going to get. If they had moved in, they would have had other things they would have forced on you. This couple will become a nightmare to live with, even if they do accept this smaller room and move in. My grandfather, my mom's dad, passed away recently. After he died, my grandmother decided to move into a seniors community. She was moving from a house to a 1-bedroom flat, so there were lots of items she didn't need. The house was pretty full and lived in because she and my grandfather lived in it for like 50 years. When we were going through the attic, we found boxes and boxes of old pictures. My grandmother wanted to go through them. In some there were pictures of my mom when she was little, and there was a baby in them or a kid younger than her. I asked her who it was because she doesn't have a sister, and she doesn't have any aunts and uncles, so no cousins either. My dad said my mom had a younger sister, but she died from cot death, and to not say anything to my grandmother because it would upset her to talk about, especially so close after my grandfather's death. At the time, what my parents told me made sense. After that I helped to move the furniture to her new flat, or to sort what she was not keeping. I honestly forgot about the pictures. The next month I found one of my dad with a woman in a bridal gown. It wasn't my mom, and I could not figure out why my mom's parents would have a photograph of my dad at a wedding not to their daughter. My mom was there when I found it, and she couldn't explain it then. The next day, my grandmother told me the truth when I confronted her. My mom had a sister. She was married to my dad. My dad played away with my mom, who was his wife's sister, and I was born from the affair. My dad divorced my mom's sister to be with my mom. My mom's sister went away somewhere else because my grandmother and grandfather wouldn't condemn the divorce, and they are estranged and not in contact now for almost 30 years. My dad's parents also knew all of this and didn't tell me. My mom and dad never bothered to get married after his eventual divorce from my mom's sister. I'm angry that the only family members I have, my parents and both sets of grandparents, have kept this from me. I would never have known if I didn't accidentally see those pictures. My grandmother had thought they got rid of all the photographs of my mom's sister. My parents and my other grandparents have admitted this too and told me the same thing as my grandmother. My parents tell me it is none of my concern since it happened before I was born and doesn't affect me. I disagree. Such a big secret should have been kept from me, plus I don't agree with the behavior of anyone involved in this. Do you believe I'm right to be angry, or are my parents and grandparents correct and I'm in error? Not the idiot. But holy crap, that's like the plot of a movie. You have the right to be angry they didn't tell you, but I'm sure they were all ashamed. When would have been the right time to tell you, really? No time would have made any of it better. It's painful to learn our parents and grandparents are not saints, but this is another level. I feel so sorry for your aunt. She lost her entire family. On the other hand, I would think that having you in the picture had a lot to do with it. People can extend their bitterness to innocent children. Your family was probably trying to protect you from being hated for no reason other than that you were born. Lots of families have secrets they keep from kids, even when they become adults, usually because the secret is something considered shameful, at least at the time it happened. Not the idiot, because your feelings are valid. I emphasize with you, because my family also had secrets kept from us kids, which I figured out at 13, but didn't admit it openly until in my 30s. The problem with family secrets is that they seem like a good idea at first, but it's so stupid to hang on to those secrets when the kids grow up because of the great likelihood of them finding out when older and then feeling betrayed. Just like that happened to you. Not the idiot. They made terrible, wretched choices, and they didn't do as good a job as they thought hiding the evidence. So they just cut off the daughter who was cheated on? And then they graciously accept the cheater and the daughter who disrespected her sister? How messed up. Poor sister. I'm sorry for her and for you. They want to pretend it never happened, that you never found out it happened, and to get back to business as usual as fast as possible. Sometimes things like this come out, and we can't look at our families the same. Getting them to be accountable will be an uphill battle or even impossible.